Hey y'all, Dennis here.
Chrissy.
Hey everybody.
Alex and Tammy are joining us from out of state, Muddy Water Search and Recovery. Hope you guys are doing well.
We are. Hope you all been doing well. We've missed you all.
It seems like it's been
Yeah,
forever.
it's been
again.
forever.
It
Yeah.
Definitely has.
First order of business, though. Happy birthday, Catfish.
I'm around here.
Yep. Happy birthday, sir.
And don't let the years get you. You're still a young pup.
109 he's doing pretty good for me.
Because you all are nice to each other.
Here we go.
But guys, thank you for joining us tonight and following along with everything. You guys have been incredible. Those of you who reach out to us with information on these cases, that's been very helpful. The open discussions have been great. And just all the support from everybody has been really incredible.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
We appreciate all of you. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on, like a video, leave a comment, and that goes a long ways in support and helping us get out to do this. And again, to those who have donated, thank you very much for that. All the donations go into the efforts. And tonight is going to be, I don't want to say the last, what we call wide open discussion, but we're going to transition just a little bit and we'll get into that just a bit. But tonight is a wide open discussion. If you have any questions, topics, etc., that you want to throw in the comment section, we will be getting to those.
Yep.
And we've got several other things we'll be going over with tonight as well. And the first thing I kind of want to talk about, and Dan brought this to my attention earlier today, is you've noticed that a lot of our videos recently has been almost digital. It's been typed and shared over. We're not transitioning to do that full time. It's just time.
Yeah.
We've all been really busy. Everybody's got the full-time jobs, families, everyday life. And that's just been basically a fast way to get information out to you guys when we were crunched on time. Yeah. So that's not going to be a new normal for us. But through that, we've been able to learn some things through doing that we're going to be able to incorporate that into our normal videos and live feeds. If something needs to be highlighted or something significant, we can pull it up like that as well. So it will just add to what we do. But please don't think that all of our videos are going to go that route. They're not.
We just had a last couple weeks, and unfortunately, it's just everything that's been going on in life. And, Tammy and I, we're down here in the Smoky Mountains. We're going to be down here for about a week on vacation. So we just been really busy, and, you all have been busy. And, we do just want everybody to know that, it just, unfortunately, it's been really busy, and we just haven't all been able to spend time together and, make videos. And you guys have been busy. We've been busy. And we just, we want everybody to know that, we're not going nowhere, and, don't think that we're switching platforms of how we do stuff, because that is not the case, but we just don't want to, when life gets busy, we just don't want to disappear out of sight. So that's why, Dennis has been doing these type of short videos, and it's just, keeping stuff rolling and keeping it out there. So
you guys are still going to see our faces on these videos. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but it's going to happen.
Oh my God. Dirty puppies.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Bobby just posted something here. It says, I'm not changing the subject, but did you all know that AWP Jared Lasky was arrested on a 1992 rape charge of 2 girls under the age of 14, and he may lose AWP?
What?
Yeah.
When did this all come out?
All right, Bobby, you're going to have to give us a little more information, Bobby.
Oh,
This is huge in the missing persons world for somebody that carries the, I hate to say, celebrity status of the search and rescue
Right.
recovery
Hi,
people.
Leanne.
Oh my word, that is crazy.
I'm sorry.
2 girls under the age of
And Missy asked, where in the mountains I would like to meet you all. That would be great.
And Nature Lover just posted, it was his cousin. He was 16, 17, and she was 9 or 10.
Oh my gosh.
That is terrible. Absolutely disgustingly terrible.
And now,
And yeah, Mark, I agree.
Yes.
We need more
Yeah, we need,
concrete info on that.
but now Nature Lover said his sister has come forward as well.
And again, guys, I do want to say this, we haven't confirmed
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Oh, you missed it, Meg.
Missy Scott said somewhere in the mountains. Are you from
Oh.
here?
Jared was just arrested on a 92 rape charge.
It wasn't just though.
Not just.
And right, Mark says just allegations, guys.
Yeah.
Right.
So right now, in the Smoky Mountains part, we are in
Sevierville.
Sevierville area. This time we're not staying in a cabin. We actually have a brand new house we're staying in, and I know you can't see it, but believe it or not, mountains are right behind us in the dark, and we're on the deck of this house outside. Believe it or not, it's been hot here. You know,
I was going to ask if it was warm because, I mean, it's chilly outside for us right now. And you're wearing what, a t-shirt?
yeah, t-shirt and shorts. 80s every day.
It was 83 today, it said.
Woo, nice.
So, yeah, and I thought everybody says it's crazy down here that it's this warm right now. But
there's going to be a cold snap
Yeah.
this weekend. I just looked at the weather both home.
so we're headed out of here Wednesday, and then we'll be making it back.
Okay.
Dan said, I did notice that the Dr. Phil wasn't mentioned in the Summer Wells recap. And Dan, I didn't get that part in the recap. We will be doing a full video recap on Summer Wells, and we'll be adding all of that information into it as well.
Not to change the subject back, I'm completely mortified about this about Jared. I mean, I know Jared has had some rumors of doing some shady stuff in his past, and I'm not trying to, throw it down the road, but this is just absolutely terrible. Unbelievable terrible. And maybe he knew this was coming, and that's why he's bringing these other people on to continue it while he deals with it, possibly.
And Ponytail says, I don't believe the allegations. And yeah, right now it is allegations. If something happened, anything, the justice system will go through that.
That is true.
Nature Lover says they have him confessing in emails.
What happened?
And Missy says, did you see what happened to me? I'm going to go back and read that, Missy.
Oh, that was at the very beginning, I think, right there.
Well, Missy, I'm glad you got out of the bad situation and into what appears to be a good situation. And I hope that really works out for you.
Most definitely.
Well, goodness, that was kind of a slap in the face. My goodness. Okay.
And
Let's get
guys,
back here.
I also want to bring up, I've mentioned this several times before, from November 1st until the weather breaks in early spring, we don't actually schedule searches, which means we will still do searches and we'll still be doing searches in this time frame. But with how the weather is, it
Yeah.
comes and goes. It's so quick here and everything that we don't want to schedule a lot of searches out and then bad weather come in.
Yeah.
So if it's something pressing, we will definitely be on it, and we will be trying to get other searches in. We just won't be doing what we call our scheduled searches,
Yeah.
which is normally scheduled 3-4 weeks out in advance. This time we also use to dig into the cases and build a search location lists for each case. So come spring, we have a ton of locations for us to get on to search. And again, a lot of those will get searched in this
Yeah.
time frame, but all weather dependent,
Yeah.
getting that time of year. And when I was younger, I loved this time of year. I don't much like it anymore. And Megan's
We can
going to be
pass-
joining
yeah.
us very soon.
Yeah. Until she does, let's hop into this one.
And she moved it over there.
What? Oh, yeah. Okay.
We are going to do something a little different. And as you know, I've spoken how I had Muddy Waters hunting and fishing adventures before
Mhm.
transitioning. And I'd given the invite if somebody had a kid that was into the outdoors, they could email me and give me a shipping location.
Mhm.
And I would send them a package, basically a Christmas package of some fishing lures, some hunting calls, etc. And we wanted to do this as well. We're going to do a silent auction type thing. And we've got 2 boxes that we're putting things into. And there's, hard to see, but there's lures,
We got
there's
lures.
deer calls, there's turkey calls, crankbaits, topwater poppers. But when you add it all
Yeah,
up,
Another one, another lure.
each box contains over $300 in value.
Yeah.
And we're going to do this silent auction styles, and we're going to do this over on social media as well. And anybody who wants to place a bid on this could email mwhfa@yahoo.com or text me. That information is down in the video description. And anytime that a bid goes up, then we will jump on and do a quick video, 20-second video to let you know the amount that it's at that point. And all the proceeds of this will be going towards our efforts with Muddy Water Search and Recovery.
Mhm.
So it's just something different we're going to try to do and see how it goes. And the auction will end November 20th at 3 p.m. And then the 2 highest bidders will get the 2 boxes.
And there's a lot of good stuff in there, guys. You put most of them together, didn't you?
Yeah.
All of them together.
Yeah.
So yeah. Handmade.
And we'll announce the 2 that night on the normal live feed, November 20th as well. So just something a little different we're going to try to do and just see how it goes.
That sounds awesome. We might have to get some more items thrown in there on this.
Yeah. We could do that.
And Dan says, "Oh, Dennis, I did go to Edmond to do some searching on Batman because none of the bodies found on that compound didn't match his DNA. So I'm thinking he may be in Arcadia Lake." Now, Arcadia Lake is a location that was of high interest to me in that case.
Okay. Who is Batman?
That is Bruce.
Oh, that would make sense.
Bruce down in Oklahoma. And I want to say his middle name is Wayne.
Oh my gosh. That explains it all. All right, Meg, you ready?
Missy says, I still need my hat. My hat's gotten comfortable. It got rather attached to me, and I'm definitely attached to it. So, guys, I'm going to turn this over to Megan for a quick minute. And
We could
she
break
wants
her
to
away from the
discuss some
football
stuff.
game. Chiefs game right now.
What
Meg,
is the
we're
score?
waiting on you. Huh?
Can we have an update, Chrissy, on the score? What's going on?
It's 3-0. Us. Yeah. All right. Get your stuff.
I'm coming.
Break away from the TV. Hi.
Hi, Meg.
Bruce Jacob is his name. Thank you, Dan.
Oh. All right. He's throwing me on here right now because I have some new stuff to show for my Etsy stuff. My Etsy account.
Let's
It's
see. You have a fall line.
Yeah.
You have an upcoming Christmas line. Black Friday sale. All that good
yes,
stuff.
I'm still trying to figure out how to do the Black Friday sale.
Hey, well, you'll get
I'll
there.
get it.
You'll
I'll
get
figure
there.
it out.
You'll get there.
I've got new necklaces. Everything's got like fall colors to it. This one I didn't realize I made it look like a cow. But I've got necklaces. I've got new bracelets. This one's got a little, if I could get it to,
Oh, cute. It's got a little
it's got a little leaf charm on it. I've got my candy corn earring. Where am I going? Candy corn earrings.
I don't know if you can see them.
And I've got some new hoop earrings. They've just like I said, they've got fall colors. And these I really like.
These are cute.
They're my little leather cow-shaped earrings.
What else you got?
I've got this bracelet.
Oh, she's got these. I guess it's little flowers, but the colors on them, guys, are awesome.
And I'm just
And then she's got some cute little cactuses. Now these are super cute. Whoops. Where am I going? I mean, she's got.
I've just got some more like little
Yeah.
just fall colored stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've been working on.
Yep. Here, let me show you
Yeah.
these candy corns, guys. These are so freaking cute. They're
And I got
glass candy corns.
My candy corn bracelet.
Yep. You can get the matching bracelet.
Yeah, I've got all this. Well, no, I don't. I've only got a little bit of this on my shop. I still have to put it all on there, but it will be on there.
I mean, look at these colors, guys, to these necklaces. These are really pretty. I don't know how well you can see them, but they're really pretty colors. So,
And yeah, like Den says all the time, a portion of this, the proceeds to this stuff does go back into Muddy Waters. So I do share that way.
but yeah, check it out, guys. She's got tons of new stuff.
Yeah.
So, I love that one. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So you did say you're going to be doing the Black Friday special.
Yeah, after I look up how to do it, I'm gonna have the Black Friday sale.
Then are you going to have a Cyber Monday special?
what?
I should probably do
Yeah,
that too.
why don't you write that down?
I always
I
forget
didn't even
about
think about
Cyber
that.
Monday.
Oh yeah, those are huge.
I
Yeah,
always
that's a good
forget.
idea. Yeah. Tamara says, so cute.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Some
what
of
I've been working
those
on.
Might look good on Alex, Megan. That's what Bobby
Well,
said.
Alex, if you like turquoise, you know these
Oh,
will
you're
work
in,
good.
yeah.
Tammy like boys.
I don't know, these candy corns might
I
look
know.
cute.
They're so cute. These little glass candy corns. Anyway, cute
Yeah.
stuff, guys. Please check our website out.
That's
You need beads. I have a lot. I
Oh,
always take beads. So if you just want to get rid of them, I'll take them.
yep.
You want a chair back?
Nope.
Because I have to get
Center of attention.
I don't want to be the center of attention.
Bye, Meg.
I'm going to sit here.
Oh, she's coming back.
I'm not the star of the show.
And she cracks me up when she says, that's what I've been doing is making this stuff, because she has been working hard behind the scenes
Yeah.
as well, digging into these cases and trying to help find answers. And
Yeah. Here, let me move this Meg, so you can. There you go. Okay.
Put
you want to jump into
some
that?
Okay.
in his beard.
Yeah, there you go. Put some in his beard. There you go. Okay.
Hey, just FYI, I'm kind of having to wing it here because I don't have a way to print off the itinerary schedule, and I can't look at it while I'm on my phone doing this. So just FYI, I can't keep up with what we had on our schedule list for the season.
That's okay. Dan says have Dennis model the earrings.
Hey, my ears were pierced 14 years ago,
They're still pierced.
and I haven't worn earrings in what, a couple of years?
About a year.
Anyway.
And
I don't know. He's
I ain't
oh, I was
putting them
gonna
in.
thought you were really gonna put him in there.
I think
All right,
he's
guys.
Pretty with the cows.
Oh, you didn't need we're the cows. He'd be so cute with the cow.
I have to admit, I wouldn't wear them, but I do like the cows. Those are cool.
Dan said pink is your color.
And Max says behind the scenes is just as important.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. I don't know if you guys remember, but have you mentioned this yet?
Yeah, I done a video on this
Okay.
the other day.
Season of Hope, guys. I love this idea that Denny has come up with. And the more we talk about it, the more I'm just like waiting for this to happen. It's called A Season of Hope. December 17th at 7:30 p.m., we will be streaming our first annual Christmas program. We've been asked by several of you if you could do a Christmas special program in honor of all the families who, have a missing loved one. We absolutely do agree, all three of us, on this. We will be doing giveaways during the special, so set your calendars and don't forget to join us on December 17th for a Season of Hope Christmas special. Help us share with the families faith that answers are coming soon, hope in that they are not alone, and love that extends from our hearts to their families. So this is going to be super exciting to do. I am so looking forward to this.
Because this started off, it was going to be basically Christmas carols,
Yeah.
and now there's some other things
Yeah.
getting added into this, and it's going to be an honor to do. And Dan says Jennifer did a balloon release.
Oh,
That is awesome.
sweet.
So definitely don't miss out on that.
'Cause there's-
7:30 p.m. December 17th.
Right. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on that day. So,
And it's not just going to be us too.
Yeah.
We do have other people that's going to be
Yeah.
coming in.
yeah.
And again, through the grapevine, I'm hearing Old Saint
Right.
may actually make an appearance.
Right. So you never know.
awesome.
Yeah. Have you been good this year? Yes? No? Uh-huh. He's watching.
I've been good for the most part.
It's the thought that counts.
Right? Yeah.
And Dan says news stations are taking interest in Alex's case.
It's about time.
Right.
My goodness.
Something as cut and dry as that should have been
Yes.
all over the news.
Gosh. Okay.
And speaking of Tennessee, I recently gave an invite to the families in Tennessee, and a lot of these cases we're already working on, but I gave them an invite to join us on live feeds, and it appears that there are several families
Mhm.
that will be joining us live to discuss their cases. And to be fair to each one, and so they all have all the time that they need to share, we will do one case per live feed.
Mhm.
And we'll let you know when those are coming up so you all know ahead of time. But we're going to be releasing a video very soon that just kind of lays the foundation again for you on what's going on with these cases there and why they are where they're at. I mean, we normally don't openly accuse. We want to have hard evidence, factual evidence to prove what we're saying. And in the Tennessee case, there's going to be allegations coming out that there's actually proof to back them up.
Yeah.
And we will get into detail in that video and in the live feeds with the families, but it is just crazy what's going on with these cases. And as Dan says here, they still haven't released the cause of death on Joshua Bohannon's case. It come back, I believe they said it come back inconclusive, but that's not enough for a family that's grieving, you know.
Yeah.
And with the technology today, it's hard to think that so many things can come back inconclusive like that.
Yeah.
But we'll get that video released out to you guys soon, and we will keep you updated on when we will be doing these live feeds as well.
Oh, get some rest, Missy. Oh, the flu. Ugh.
Yeah, they're
No,
saying
thanks.
the flu started early this year, and
it's bad.
hitting pretty hard.
I had my flu shot because of work, because I work for the government, and my arm still hurts, and it's been, what, 4 days now? Huh. So,
And another case that we've been working on for a while, and Alex is starting to make some headway with, it seems, is Zeta Gordon's case. And Alex, would you want to share kind of what's been going on with that?
So I had been discussing with Dennis, and we've been talking about Zeta Gordon's case. So Zeta is missing from Atchison, Kansas. She went missing on October 5th or October 10th of 1992, I believe. So she was married to a gentleman named Wayne Gordon. He was a United States Senator, I think from the state of Kansas, I think.
oh, wow.
So Zeta went missing. I think they had some type of argument or a fight, and Zeta ended up leaving. Well, later that night they had found her car. I believe the keys were in it. I don't know if the car was running or not. I'd had to, and unfortunately, I can't pull this stuff up on my phone and go over my notes. But basically, they found the car, they found the keys in the car, and either the car was running and the ignition was on running, or just the radio was on. But she had a bag in there, like she was going to be leaving. They found it that night. I believe 2 of her children. She had 3 children with Wayne, and 2 of the children, I believe, found the car at an abandoned farmhouse somewhere. I do not have the location of that. They never found her. They had some reported sightings of her, supposedly, I think in Johnson County, Kansas, or like Overland Park, Kansas, somewhere like that. A couple of reported sightings of her. But she was never found. And I think her husband had her legally declared dead in 1996 or 1997. And then a year later, he remarried. And then either on the date that Zeta declared dead or the date he married his second wife, he committed suicide. So we have came up with an idea of possibly a place that she might possibly be. And I have been in touch with people who own this piece of property. So I can tell you firsthand, it is quite a bit of work to get permission, because I can tell you firsthand, when I explained this story to these people, they had no idea what I was talking about. And then when I told them what had happened on this property, they did not know that something had happened there. So basically, I've been in contact, and it's been 2 weeks since I've talked to them, but I'm not going to say they've ghosted me, but I truly caught them off guard when I explained what had happened and why I would like to gain access to this property. So at this point, I have not heard back from them. And I had gave them all the details. I had sent them newspaper articles. And there is a reason to be there on this property 100% because of something that else happened.
100%.
So there's some really coincidences that have happened with this piece of property. When I get back home to Missouri later this week, I'm going to reach out to these people again and see. If they do not, then I'm going to move forward with trying to talk to the non-emergency department in Atchison, Kansas at the police station. And I've got a couple of questions. One of the questions is I want to know if they would be willing to release the information to where they had found her car. Because I want to see where this car is compared to this piece of property that we would like to gain access to. And then this piece of property, I would like to see if they would give us the information on another incident that had taken place at this property. So I just want to let people know that, this is my first part through Muddy Waters where I'm trying to relieve some of the work off of Dennis when calling, emailing, writing, trying to get permission. It's a lot of hard work because I can tell you 100% up front when I spoke to this gentleman and I had told him about some of the events that possibly took place at this, he was literally silent for like a minute. I mean, literally he didn't say anything. And I had to ask if he was still there. And he said, I'm here, and I really caught him off guard. And I said, there's some diehard proof of some events that happened on your property. And I said, this piece of property that you have the ability to help us with. I said, I'm so sorry to call you and catch you off guard like this, but, we're looking for some help and assistance in this to gain access to this property. And, like I said, I totally caught him off guard. He was quiet, and then I started forwarding some newspaper articles and some stuff off missing people's reports about Zeta. And he was just totally blown away. I believe that's what you'd call it. So, I just want people to know that there's lots of times we talk about trying to get permission, and sometimes we make a call and we get someone to answer, and sometimes we don't. And, writing letters and, basically driving to somebody's property and trying to knock on a door and ask. It's a lot of work. It's just not as simple as us hanging up and, believe it or not, calling your friend and saying, hey, or calling a distant cousin that you don't get to talk to all the time. Because when you try to tell them the reason why, if they have no idea, it catches people off guard, and it really does. And I can tell you that the day that I called this person, I sat in my garage working on one of my ATVs. I sat in the garage for about 30 minutes, and I played in my head over and over how to tell this man this news and how to move forward with it. And it's just not as simple as picking up the phone and saying, hey, by the way, there might be somebody buried on your property. I'm just some Yahoo calling you. It doesn't go down like that. It's a lot of work. It's truly a mental process of how to deal with it. And it's going to be the same way when I try to call him back. And then when I move forward with the Atchison Police Department in Atchison, Kansas, and speak to the non-emergency people, that there's a phone number for non-emergencies. And then I've got to explain who I am and who I'm with and the reason I'm calling. And I'm asking for their help with a case that we are investigating. And if they would be able to provide some 2 key pieces of information that we would like to have to help us move forward. So hopefully in a week or so, we'll have
with that, as Dan said up here, you may have trouble getting that kind of information because of the law in Kansas about public records. That law, I believe it's like 70 years or
Yeah,
so
like
after the
72
case
years
is
or
closed.
something. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know what the point is.
Well, and we had talked when we went to search for Billy and Mary Lou Black, Billy Bob and Mary Lou Black. When we went on their search, we had a little bit of communication, I believe, with the Atchison Police Department, and they seem truly very nice. Very, and Dennis, I believe you're the one that talked with them. They at least seemed inviting to talk to, I guess, if that
Right. And that seems to be the normal. Most law enforcement agencies are going to be willing to talk to you. Granted, what they can release or can't release probably won't change at all.
Yes.
But I know I've spoken with Leavenworth Sheriff's Department, somebody from there in regards to Randy's case, and very nice guy. He was doing follow-ups, and the Sheriff's Department was doing follow-ups in the area and had reached out with some questions, and just very nice. And that seems to be pretty standard with law enforcement. They're willing to talk to you because they want answers too. And
Did you just hear that?
what's that?
You hear that noise behind me in the woods? I don't know what that was. Something's growling or hooping back behind me in the woods. Oh, wow.
And Leanne says, I lived in Atchison from 6 to 16. I'm 52 now. Is the property owner in my age range? I might know them.
Dan said, Bigfoot.
There's Bigfoot stuff everywhere, right?
Yeah, Bigfoot.
So to Leanne's question, the actual property owner to this property is deceased.
Oh.
And I believe, which they didn't outright tell me, but the property has been willed to somebody else. So I was in contact with someone who's, this is investigative work. I was able to get a hold of somebody who had connections to the person who had access to this place. And so I made the right contacts. We was able to put 2 + 2 together and come up with 4, and it worked out. But as far as the property owner, the actual property owner is deceased. So.
And with that property, if we could find out where her vehicle was actually found and where it is in regards to this property would be really huge. But this piece of property has been my number one area of interest since this case first come up.
Yeah.
Yes. And I believe we have enough information that tells us we need to be there. I mean, there's enough parts of the recipe to bake a cake, if you get what I'm saying. So if we can, I know that's a silly analogy, but if we can just, I would love to know where her car was found. I think if it's anywhere remotely close, because my thought is where her car was found and where this event possibly could have taken place, either somebody else had to be involved to take the car there, or the person we think that possibly had done this, they had already had to have done something and took the car there and dropped it off, either walked home, walked to this other location, or had somebody else help out. So, I mean, there's possible, there could be a possibility of two people involved in this. So, but our main focus is to try to help bring her home, and she's been gone, I think, 30 years, basically.
Yeah.
My senior year. So 1992 when I graduated. So, just 4 years short of Randy being gone. So definitely, hopefully, we can have an update here in a week or two about that case, because it's close to home to all of us. It's 30-40 minute drive basically to get there. So hopefully we get some positive news moving forward with being able to move there, because it's another case that hits home close.
Yep.
And we will definitely keep you guys updated in regards to that case and everything that's going on with that. Hopefully we get to go out there soon. And we have several other videos in the works as well, and we'll get those out to you guys as soon as we can. I mentioned that we gave the open invite to the Tennessee families to join us on a live feed. We also want to extend that invite out to all of you. If anybody would like to join us live and discuss any of these cases, email us at the mwsar22@yahoo.com. Let us know, and we'll discuss that and get that scheduled and get a time where you join us live on here with all of us and discuss what case you're wanting to discuss with us like that.
Bobby, that has been a family saying on my grandpa's side for years. I've always heard that Pepsi will rust your pipes. No, water will rust your pipes. Never mind. Forget it.
And Catfish, tonight it's Coke.
I've got Pepsi, Bobby. I promise.
And Dan, how long of a drive is it for me to come visit Dennis? I don't know how long that would be.
It just depends. I mean, he's got Snapple.
Have to look that up and find out, Dan. Because I'd love to meet Dan.
Yeah.
I'd love to meet all these
Yeah,
people.
I'd love to meet everybody.
Yeah.
Give or take, maybe. And Megan, about 6-7 hours, depending on where you're coming from in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oklahoma?
Catfish. I mean, 109 years old. Man.
Oh, yeah. I had to go, what? Who?
Doing recoveries. I mean, man. I'm not sure which fountain of youth he's drinking out of, but I know.
All right. Oh, Bobby's drinking orange juice.
Oh, water.
If I can drive 6 hours to Texas, I can drive there. Yep. Come on.
Hey, but that's different. He's going to Texas to see his girlfriend.
Right.
And guys, if you have the new case you'd like us to work on or information you'd want to share, please email that over to the MWSAR22 as well. That is in the video description, and that is the email address that the team has access to. So if you have anything, send it over there. And also, please remember, as we're coming into the holiday season, the families who are missing their loved one, this is a really hard time of year for them. So let's remember to keep them in our thoughts and prayers. And also keep those who are out working hard, trying to find their loved ones for them. Keep them and their safety in your prayers as well.
Yeah.
But really remember these families. This
Yeah.
is a really hard time for them.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan says they split up.
Oh,
Sorry, Dan.
Sorry to hear that, man. And Leanne says, I'm still willing to drive up and join y'all live. And she's eating an apple cider donut.
Yeah.
Does that count?
Yes, ma'am. It
Only
does.
if you bring me an apple cider donut.
Oh my
That
goodness.
sounds
these are
good.
so good. And
Hey,
Dan said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Alex. What
Who can see this? Can you all see this here?
are those pretzels?
They are. They're pretzel bites.
Oh, wait. We got you beat.
Oh,
It's full of popcorn.
oh no. These are different. These don't have peanut butter in
It's
them.
not peanut butter.
These have brownies in them.
What?
Oh.
Oh wow, your popcorn's looking pretty
Ooh.
puny.
I don't know my caramel corn. was flat.
Just like a normal pretzel bite with peanut butter, but inside
Oh,
they
those- are those a Tennessee thing, Tammy?
Never seen them before.
Huh. Dan says bacon maple donuts. Those, yeah, I've had those. Those are good.
Oh, that is my favorite.
Yeah.
Favorite.
Yeah.
Catfish is going to St. Louis in April for 3 weeks.
Mhm.
Catfish, you're not going to be far from us.
Yeah. About 4 or 5 hours.
we've got somebody that wants to set in with us here behind us. Somebody
Volunteered.
Oh.
oh. So this is Tammy's daughter, Taylor. So Taylor has done a lot of watching stuff, with missing people, and we talk a lot about a lot of things. So like she's known about Randy's stuff.
Come meet her.
time.
Come meet her. Her daughter. Well, it's nice to meet you.
You too.
And she's sitting right there where she can kind of reach up and smack Alex.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
Speak up and say something. So over the last couple of weeks, there's been some things that have been said. And I'm sure it just happens in life. People say things about Muddy Waters, but I'm going to speak up and tell you all, I'm not Alex and Dennis talk nearly every single day. And sometimes these guys have set up till 4 o'clock in the morning trying to get brains together to think about what could have possibly happened to whoever they might be talking about at the time. So I just want to speak up, and I want to say that if there's anyone out there who thinks that Muddy Waters has a different agenda other than the fact of truly helping people, you are dead wrong. Because these guys and girls have put a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of their heart and soul into things that they didn't have to do this. They truly didn't. Dennis didn't have to speak up and start Muddy Waters. I mean, that's stuff that takes time, takes effort. It takes a heart. It takes a passion for something. And I want to say thank you, Dennis, because you did step up and you did say, hey, I think this is something that I need to do. And so if there's anybody out there that truly thinks that Muddy Waters is deceptive or anything negative on those comments, they're wrong, because they truly are out there to really truly bring someone home. And it doesn't matter. They want to help the one that went missing. Yes, we want to help the family, but if the family doesn't want our help, then we have to gear towards just our efforts, and our heart is for that one person. So anyway, I just want to say that because, I know things will be said and people put their 2 thoughts into what they think about people. I just want to speak up and say that Muddy Waters truly has a heart and a soul for missing people. So that's all.
Well, thank you, Tammy. That was amazing. Thank you.
And Dan says, I've never heard anyone say anything along that. Dan, a lot of this, it wasn't public, but there was stuff, quite a bit of stuff coming in
It has to be.
to us, and it was
It's disheartening.
shocking.
Yeah.
And everybody does this different ways. A prime example is Jared and AWP. They are full-blown cinematic style, the whole thing. And, I hear, and that's great. It's great how certain people do it and certain people don't, but oh man,
That's
What?
coyotes.
coyotes are right behind us.
Oh.
Yeah, because Jared and how they do theirs in the editing, the videos are beautiful.
Oh gosh, yes.
You're not going to find anybody read Sonar better than Jared.
Oh, God,
he
no.
is top
Yeah.
tier as far as it
He
goes.
could do it with his pretty much just, yeah. God.
And then you look at some of the other teams, and some of them even work with Jared now and then, but they do it a little bit different than Jared. We're a little bit different than them.
Yeah.
And we're all different. We all have different mindsets, ways of thinking. That's what makes us all human.
Yeah.
And we just use what we have to the best of our abilities and what works for us. Because
That's right.
what works for us ain't going to work for them, and what
No.
works for them ain't going to work for us. It's just human nature.
Yeah.
And, my hat's off to everybody who's out there trying to help families across the country. And
Absolutely.
the world needs more people like that.
And the bottom line is we all need to be working together. If just like many a times he has called the police in certain areas, he has made phone calls, he has emailed, people that have actually found people in those areas because Dennis knew where to look for them at.
Right.
So, he didn't think about, having the glory of finding that person. All he was worried about is actually getting the info that he had to people that were there on the ground searching, and they found them and they brought them. And so we all of us that are in this, we all should be working together. Because if we all came together, can you imagine what we could do, what we could accomplish?
Yeah.
So,
And it's a lot of, going over documents. And I kind of think that's where we probably shine, is we do put a lot of effort into factual information and looking at what can be factual, what can be true versus something that's a rumor or an accusation or just straight up BS lies, because we all know when it comes down to it, there's only one truth and everything else was just a lie, and, Randy's case is one of the main ones that there's so many theories of what happened. It's just not two things that possibly happened. It's 100, and it's easily like that. I guarantee you, that at least once a week we find a handful of things that we've never heard of before. Last week we heard of, I think, what was it, 3 different names that we had never ever heard of before around Randy's case that have just popped up in documents.
Yeah.
Of course, then we start down that path of, well, who is this? What was the timeline that this person was involved in relation to Randy, and what was said, or like that. So it's a lot of work, and it's just not.
it is a lot of work. It is.
I honestly, I would think it's 100-fold, the investigative side to going out and looking, actual boots on the ground, because if we don't decipher what we have on paper or what we read or what's out there, then we can't make any decisions just to show up somewhere and look. We have to have, we have to have the information through reading and talking about it to make decisions where to go, you know,
Yeah,
and what.
and you touched on this just a bit ago that about when you talked to this property owner in Zeta's case and just the shock and how long it's been since we've heard back. That is pretty normal.
Yeah.
I've knocked on doors and talked to people. We've called people. We've mailed letters, and you would think people want their property searched,
Right.
but I see where they question, what are you doing? What's your intent on my property? You know, they own that property.
Right.
That's their place. And you do get the ones that, yeah, absolutely. Please come in, check this, make sure it's clear. You get the ones that will say, yeah, we'd like you to come in and check it, make sure it's clear, but we don't want you going public with our property or sharing that because they still want their privacy, but they want the peace of mind. And then I've had it to where you guys don't even come near my property. You better not be on my property. Yeah. And I mean, you get everything with this, and none of them have been the same. It's been a different experience with every family that I've talked to get permission to search. Yep. And it's just, I mean, it's a lot of work and a lot of mental preparedness. And you think you're prepared when you knock on this door, and
it's always something. Yeah, it's a different feeling. So
yeah. Well, I hope with Zeta's case that, you know, like I said, they haven't reached back out to me, and I gave them emails. I gave them. You know, I did everything to make sure that they understood that, you know, I was being serious about what I was, you know, trying to ask them about and stuff. And I think, I think it really caught them off guard. And I just think that I think they're just really maybe bothered by what I told them. And because it is a public place where this possibly could have happened. And, you know, I hope when I reach back out to them that they will talk to me. Hopefully, you know, they've just been discussing it amongst these people, and they will, hopefully they will open their arms and say, yes, you are welcome to come here and take a look. And, you know, hopefully they'll be there, and they'll do it, and they'll let us do it, you know.
Anne says, hello, everyone. I've been watching your channel for a while. I watched to see how Randy's case is coming along. I do have a question. What did Jim Haddle and Steve look like? I do have a picture of Steve, I believe, saved on my computer. I will try to get pictures of them and do a video or put it over on the community page of the channel and try to get those up for you. Dan says that's what the problem is with Molly Miller's case. That would be Molly Miller and Colt Haynes. Nobody wants anyone searching their properties.
And right there, you don't want to search any properties. It kind of makes you look like, why? What are you hiding in a way?
Just an automatic.
Yeah.
And then Mac here, a shock factor.
Yep.
And one thing that we've learned with Randy's case when it comes to properties being denied, I want to use the Bishop case as an example here. They knocked on the door. She denied access to search the property. They done a video out on the road there explaining that access was denied, and everybody immediately jumped to the conclusion that they're hiding something because they won't let Adventures with Purpose search. And in reality, it turned out to be that it was a lady home by herself. She wasn't comfortable having strange men on the property like that without her husband there. But that got drugged so far off into left field with that to date, that property hasn't been searched.
Right.
So it's people sometimes have legitimate reasons like that. Megan wouldn't be comfortable with 3 men on the property,
Right.
home alone.
Right.
So I could understand that. And I don't like to be quick to judgment that they're covering something or hiding something because they don't want you there. But there's also situations to where, like, this was on Randy's case. There was Stranger Creek, a section that we felt needed searched. I reached out to 3 property owners. One of them never got in contact with. They wouldn't respond back. The second one said, yes, please search our part of it. We want to know for sure that that's clear. If we can help you, let us know. We'll do whatever we can.
Yeah.
The third one, their response was almost hateful and
Yeah.
don't you ever come on my property. And we had never been on the property.
No.
We were trying to get permission to come on. And it's so weird, the different extremes. And I could understand not wanting a stranger on your property for any reason, but just the attitude that comes with that sometimes. Dan says people have been run off at gunpoint in Molly's case. That's also sounding familiar in Christopher Lupin's case up in Nebraska.
Yep.
A team that I have been in contact with that's actually a cadaver dog and search dog organization were run off multiple times from what we also consider our number one area of interest in the case. And it's just amazing how far people go to keep you away.
Right.
And the people running them off don't even own the property
Yeah,
in that particular case. And Catfish says it's not that people don't want property searched, it's the fact that they don't want to get involved. And that is very true as well. And Dan says, I'm just wondering because Steve says he didn't go to the party. And when Randy dropped him off, he offered Randy some beer and Randy said no thanks. But when Randy showed up to the party, someone at the party saw Randy walk up to the fire with 2 people and Randy had 2 beers. Yeah, I will try to get those pictures and get those put up for you. And a beer in his hand and a beer in his shirt pocket.
Yep.
And Catfish says, with the Mississippi River being at its lowest in years, that all the smaller rivers and creeks could probably be searched better now. And I've seen that they have made some recoveries on the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
And similar with Lake Mead, as it comes down, it's going to uncover more. And I do look for more recoveries to take place on the Mississippi River.
I got an alert the other day about Lake Mead.
Really?
They found more bodies.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, yeah. Megan just saying she got the alert the other day. They found more bodies in Lake Mead.
They found a 6th body last week sometime.
Oh, goodness.
Man.
So you can definitely see just even down here around the Smoky
Oh, yeah.
that the water's really low everywhere in all different places.
Titan. You come say hi.
And while I'm thinking about it and talking about all these people being found, a topic for an upcoming live feed that we're going to be having, and I don't want to place a date on it yet, depending on when Tennessee families are going to be joining us live. But we've been noticing an alarming uptick in missing persons cases across the country.
Yeah. And
we will be doing an open discussion live feed where we discuss this uptick. We'll go over the numbers, what areas seem to have the most going on right now. what's happening in those areas at the times that people are going missing, and basically what we could all be doing to try to help reduce these numbers. So this live feed will be coming up soon, and I wanted to go ahead and get that out for you guys so you could be thinking about that as well, and maybe looking into it as well. And I'll be discussing this on that particular live feed.
See, Dan just posted, I would love to know how many could be found in the kill zone by Yellowstone. We were just talking about this the other day, weren't we?
Mm-hmm.
How many we would find in that area.
I would love to take a trip out that way sometime.
Yeah.
And, but if Alex goes to Tennessee and has a Bigfoot walking up behind him, no telling what we'd find out there.
Right?
Hey, there's those metal Bigfoot signs all over here. I saw some today.
Our grandparents just got a couple of signs they put out in their house. Yeah, entry as you come in the driveway, and then they've got a Bigfoot metal that's attached to the tree now. So yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty neat.
And guys, all of the links to everything that we've shared tonight, emails, all of that stuff, all of that is down in the video description if anybody needs that. The phone number that is with the silent auction contact information, that is my personal cell phone number. If you have information on cases, we do try to get that all sent to the MWSAR22 email address, as everybody has access to that. But if need be, you could get me on my cell phone number as well.
Yeah.
Catfish says, if we all had the money Dennis has, we'd be over at Alex's house
For supper every night.
Hey, if we're going to Alex's house, that means Alex has the money, so we can go to Alex's for supper.
Okay, I think if everybody brings a side, okay?
Right, yeah.
And I can tell you firsthand, they can cook very well.
Goodness, yes, yes.
And that reminds me, we need to get together soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yellowstone has one of the highest number of missing people in a national park. I would think so, because I love listening to stories about that. How many stories have we listened to on our folklore show about missing people in Yellowstone? They just disappear.
Yeah.
So, and we've even talked about that at times, what it could possibly be. I'm not going to go into detail, but I mean, we've thought of some crazy things. It's the highest number of people missing. It's unbelievable.
Well, one of the most well-known cases of a missing person in a national park is here, and that's Dennis Martin from 1969. He was only 4 or 5 years old and went missing, and that actually took place. I just looked it up. I'm going to try to go there tomorrow to the actual site where he disappeared.
Oh, wow.
That's like 27 miles, through the mountains to where he disappeared at. And, believe it or not, the story and the rumors is that he was carried off by a Bigfoot, a Sasquatch creature.
That's actually what we discussed. We thought that if there is a Bigfoot, if it happens to be down in Yellowstone, that could be, a good, that's why people are disappearing. Honestly, I know that probably sounds weird to a lot of you, but not to me. And I don't think to you either, right?
No.
We both agree on this.
And in this case, there was another family that was on a trail walking, and they reported seeing what appeared to be a tall, hairy man carrying a small child over his shoulder. And he later that day reported it to the authorities. And then that's when they were already searching for the, missing Dennis Martin. and then they, put everything together, and it came back to, that this is what he had possibly had seen.
I'm trying to read something.
Sorry, Taylor had come back. I was trying to get her in the picture with all of us. So,
And Tamara, missing 411, they're incredible.
Yeah.
A lot of information there.
But I truly believe that there's obviously more than one Bigfoot, and I mean, they're taking people left and right. Honestly, that's my way of thinking. So,
but if I'm able, we make it there. I will try to, record where we're at, and it's called Spence Field,
Mm-hmm.
and it's south of Cades Cove. In the Smoky Mountains is where this site took, where this situation happened with Dennis Martin. So hopefully I can get up there and we can shoot some video for it, and we can do a show, on his case one night, just because was actually able to make it there to the actual spot. So,
seeing Dan says the Michael Vaughn case puzzled me. Dan, that one is very puzzling. This little boy just seemingly vanished into thin air. The last updates from law enforcement, they have still not been able to rule anybody or anything out. And there's still no answers in his case. And 5 years old, he went missing. I believe it wasn't long after Summer Wells went missing that Michael went missing. I don't have the date up here with me, but very, very sad case.
Yeah.
hey, Tammy wanted to show you all this.
that is so cool. We're going to have to figure out how to find those, Meg, the brownie stuffed pretzels. I can't believe they have those. Are they really good? I'm assuming they're good.
Yeah, that's why we're.
I figured, yeah, duh. But, oh, wow.
We would, if y'all were
We don't like them. We just wanted to show them to you.
We'll put it this way. They would bring you some home, but Alex is going to eat them on the trip back.
Yeah. I'll definitely take pictures with
Good.
the information. So,
Tamara, how's your husband doing?
And Tamara saying 411, missing 411. They did do some on Dennis's case.
yeah.
Yeah, I've read some of their stuff, and it's very interesting. I haven't read on this particular case, but
Well, it's something we discussed too. We do have a connection to his story. So Tammy's stepdad was only 16 or 18 years old, and he was on the search team that went out looking for Dennis that day, because Tammy and all her family is from down here originally.
This is home.
So, we do have a odd connection to this story, of someone being on the search team and all that. So it's always been an interest, in the world of missing people.
Wow, that's cool.
yeah. Let's see. And then we know Catfish, his law enforcement background, he's done a lot of searches for people.
Yeah.
And he's been very helpful in sharing tips and information, different things to look for. Dan has been very helpful as well in looking into these cases. And this is, again, why I like the open discussion, especially when we have a topic we're covering, we're digging deep into. And that's going to bring me back to the very beginning of this when I said we were going to restructure a little bit how we do our live feeds. We will still occasionally just have a wide open discussion live feed discussing anything, but most of our live feeds starting in the near future, for sure after first of the year, will have a topic that we dig into. And we haven't been known to share actual theories very much, simply because we didn't want to start rumors. Sometimes theories are taken and people believe that we're trying to push something as fact. So that's what we try to avoid. But we are going to be diving into some of our theories. We're still not going to openly accuse somebody without proof.
No.
But we're going to dive more into our theories and kind of show you where our theories come from, how we got to that point, and then discuss with all of you guys your thoughts on if this theory is valid or if it's something that should be put over to a side burner. Even if it's a theory that I don't think happened, and I get this a lot in several of the cases, somebody could say, I think this happened. It might be something that is, for me, totally off.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I discard it. We do keep that. We do break it down and go through that to ensure, because until it's proven with facts one way or the other, we don't know.
Right.
But we will jump into sharing that it is a theory. Tamara says you do a great job saying this is a theory before discussing. Thank you, Tamara. And that is something we will continue to do to ensure that it is known it's a theory. Did have an instance to where we did kind of share a theory on a case to where we were going to be looking a different direction. And then it gets put out that we're saying something completely different than what was said.
Yeah.
So we've just tried to be careful with that, but we will be diving deeper into these. And I mean, we're going to have to dive deep if we're going to find answers.
Right.
And we want to dive deep with you guys because you guys have been so helpful in these cases and the discussions and everything.
And I think also is, there's been times where Dennis and I have talked about things, and Dennis looks at it as one way, I look at it as another, and it's okay if we all don't agree or disagree, because in the end, it's us talking it through and people working together, and that's how we work through the facts. That's how we look at stuff and how we discuss it, and how we think of, I think it happened this way. Well, no, I think it happened this way, or no, I think this person is possibly their remains are here, or no, I think this person is with these other people that all their remains are there.
Believe me, guys, I've heard these conversations. So what Alex is saying is spot on.
I am thankful for everybody else, that does this. There's so many people that work on cases, and being friends and talking and discussing and working together, and that's how we work through things,
Sometimes it takes 5 people putting their brains together.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, and I'm so thankful for the two of you because, and this is an example, there's things that we may see differently, but we're able to discuss that together and explain it and understand where everybody's coming from. And at the end, we might not still agree on a theory, but it's not well, you're just wrong because I think this.
we keep our theory, we take yours into consideration, and vice versa. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
So, absolutely.
In doing that, I've seen things differently than what I was seeing it, just because you saw it different
Oh.
and was able to explain it.
Right.
And it's like, where
We
did
do
that,
that.
come from?
There's times we can be discussing one case, and I'll get on the phone with Denny and say, Denny, that just does not sound right. Well, you got to see it from this point. Okay, I'll listen. It still doesn't sound right. And we've had that in a couple of cases.
Yeah.
You believe yours, I believe mine, and that's just how it goes.
Right.
So,
And she's hard headed too.
yeah. So,
Is Randy's case. I mean, I 100% believe that Randy is not in water. I just don't. I mean, we know that the water was low that year. It was a drought. The levels were low. Everybody the following 2 days was out searching in airplanes, ATVs, by horses, I think, by foot, groups of people walking. I just truly believe, that Randy's car, they would have found something. I just, with the water being so low that everybody has discussed and there's records of it, I just don't believe that he went into the water anywhere.
So now everyone knows
Unless
Alex's theory.
the exception would be in somebody's pond that legitimately has never been searched.
Right.
But as for creeks, the river, all this, I believe that somebody would have seen the car tracks, the tire tracks. They would have seen vegetation that had been pushed through, rolled over, driven through. They would have looked at the mud. They would have looked at the sand entering into any body of water where he possibly could have gone in. I just don't. I mean, that's just part of it, and that's looking at the facts and looking at it, and that's just something that I don't believe. Now, I know
that's your conclusion, your personal conclusion.
but others believe that,
right.
and
that's okay.
And it's okay. It's okay, to discuss things and try to understand them and talk through it and work through it.
Seeing Catfish commented on there, because Catfish was one of the first people I know that come out and said, guys, he's not in the water. I don't believe he's in the water.
That was his theory from the start. So,
And
yeah.
at first, I was still 50-50. As far as Stranger Creek goes, I don't believe he's in
No.
Stranger.
I agree. No.
The Kansas River, I'm 95% certain he's not in the river. Like Alex said, somebody's pond that hasn't been searched. It's possible, but with the drought that was going on, those ponds are going to
Right.
be low too.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to see tracks
Exactly.
going in.
Right
And
now,
as low as they were, they'd see the car itself
Right.
if they're anywhere
And
near it.
I still 100% want to move forward with this experiment with trying to find a 1985 Dodge 600 car.
I think it was a genius
Yeah.
plan when I heard about that, because I thought, how many things we can experiment with that car once we get it. I mean, it come in. I mean, why didn't we think of this a long time ago?
Well, it's one of those things that all these accusations, rumors, these theories, all of this, that's something that we can do and we can try and we can have truth. Yeah. We can try to recreate, we can recreate driving through brush. We can recreate driving through grass. We can recreate driving into water in a pond or, into a creek if we have. I mean, there's so many ways that we can try to recreate this stuff, to visually document it and to show people and say, I just don't think this happened like this. I believe if all these people were out here searching, they would have seen grass that had been driven through. And I'm talking about doing it at the same time of the year. I'm not talking about doing it right now. I'm talking about trying to do all this stuff in April. That
Okay.
physically the same weekend, time, date that this stuff all happened.
Okay. Tamara said, since the water is low this year, has this helped with searches?
It's back and forth.
Yeah.
We haven't had a search location right now that would put us on one of those bodies of water. Alex has been working to get permission on the Zeta Gordon case. We have a few other locations we're trying to get permission on Randy Leach's case and on Crystal Kipper's case. So we haven't been out on the water yet. Hopefully in the next week or two, hopefully I'll be able to go out, and I want to go back just to be able to confirm 100%. I want to go back out to Stranger there outside of Tongi where all the small caves are, and with the water down, seeing what we can see there.
We need to hurry then because it's
Yeah.
November.
Right.
So. And then Leanne said, Lee flat out said the car was crushed by the Irwin friends in Kansas City. So, Tamara again says, very interesting theory. Where do you think the car could be?
The car itself, obviously it could have went to the crusher. And then I also think there's a strong chance the car could have actually been buried. Couple of the locations we're working on trying to get permission into go along with that theory as well.
Yeah, because there's a lot that can go along with that theory of why we think that. So,
Yes.
and then Bobby said, what did Bobby say? All the rivers and creeks that they found other cars in older than Randy's car. Why have they not found his car first? Because his car is not in the water.
Right. I
Yeah.
think if it was in a creek or the river, I think it would have.
Since 88. Oh, yeah.
And when you could contact the NOAA. That's what I done. And they sent the weather records over to me for the time frame that Randy went missing.
Right.
It was dry. It was
See,
very dry.
You're going to find something.
And we can bring up the NOAA in another case that we've looked into, and that would be the Crystal Kipper case. Because at the time frame that she went missing, we've looked into the records to see how cold it was that time of the year to possibly see if he was able to dig in the ground due to the temperatures and the frost line and how cold it had been during that month. And we believe that it was too cold for him to dig. And literally we searched the day that she went missing. We went back 2 weeks. And I think if I remember right, Dennis, wasn't it in the 50s?
Yes.
Of the time? And we come to the conclusion that yes, if the guy who supposedly had done this to her and where she could possibly be, that yes, the ground was not frozen, and if we didn't have the NOAA to go back and research the temps in that county where supposedly this took place, it would be a guessing game to whether or not, somebody at that time of the year could be out there trying to dig to bury somebody's remains. But we did our research, and I believe it took us a good hour and a half that night of looking and discussing and talking that we was able to finally be like, holy crap, it was warm.
Right.
That whole 2 weeks before that the ground wouldn't have been frozen. So that's part of it. That's part of the real investigative side of looking into cases and trying to understand what possibly could have happened to somebody.
Seeing with that location on Crystal, there is a fairly large piece of land, like an arm that goes down through there that I feel needs to be searched, but it's multiple owners. So it would be starting down here, getting that permission. If that's clear, get permission for the next and move our way down. But with information that's come in on it, I believe we've got an area narrowed down
Yeah.
that really needs to be checked.
Because Bobby said Randy's car is on an abandoned property somewhere in a barn that has already fallen down or about to fall down. And he said, not possible to crush a car back then without a car title. They had to document all the cars junked back then.
Well,
That's
that's a big issue. That's definitely the case today, but back then, I don't think so much.
but right now, if it's a 2002 or 3 and older, you do not in the state of Missouri have to have a title, because we have taken some loads of scrap in trucks that we have parted out and used for parts that we did not have the titles on,
Little dog.
and we basically took them to the scrapper and there was no issues. So, possibly at one time it could have been an issue, because we got 1988, the car was only 3 years old. Why would somebody be taking a perfectly good 3-year-old car to the scrapper unless someone had connections, someone did it at night? And it's not like you can just go throw on a switch. I mean, it takes a lot of effort to get something up and running, to crush cars, shred them, and do all this. So, I mean, there could possibly be connections. We're not saying there isn't. It's just one of those things that we have to look into and keep investigating.
And Leanne says, I think I told you, I think the car was buried. But I mentioned Lee saying that because he's gone now. I kept our messenger. I do remember that conversation, Leanne. And, I think it's extremely possible that the car is buried. Tamara says to bury a car, it would be easiest with heavy equipment, but a metal detector could help locate it if you knew where to search.
Right.
And Tamara, that's what's led us to 2 different properties right now. The thought that it could be buried there, and we would be using metal detectors. Leanne says they own the crusher, so who would be checking titles?
So back Leanne making this statement, who is the one that owned the crushers or the crusher? I mean, Lee made this accusation that the Irwins, but who is the person that physically supposedly owned it?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Okay.
And Tamara says, I agree that arm of land feels like a good lead. John, hey John, how you doing?
Hey, John.
John says titles were not required till 15 years or so in Kansas. If a car is 30 years old or wrecked, they still don't require it today.
Oh my goodness.
And Catfish says there are no chemicals that will kill the dead flesh of the human body without burning that said body. So if the car was crushed, the smell would choke you badly.
Oh. Oh, wow.
Well, that would be if he was still with the vehicle.
Right.
So with that, there's a chance that
Yeah.
Randy would be elsewhere.
Yeah. Titles were not required. Wow. Go figure.
And like John said, when we researched on that, that's what I had seen
Right.
as well.
Right.
But yeah, Randy's, we've got several places we're trying to get permission to get
Oh,
into. All but 2 areas right now that we want to search is private property. So we do have to have permission to get on those. We've been trying to get it. Hopefully that comes through soon. I would really like to get these properties checked to know one way or the other about those. Because basically every property that you're able to clear while you didn't find answers you're looking for, you did find answers, and it helps narrow down on where Randy is. Every place that's cleared is one less place he can be.
Leanne just said the Kansas City Friends of the Irwins is all I know. But Lee spent a lot of time with Kim. It was one of the issues with us breaking up. Okay. Kansas City Friends. Come across anything with that?
That is the first bit of notes I have taken down on
I know.
Kansas City people with the crusher. Look further into that.
Yeah.
That definitely is going to
Yeah.
need looked at and dug through and see what answers can be found there.
Yeah.
So we need to go back and get a yellow pages and a white pages from 1988 so we can look and see what businesses were listed as, auto recyclers, salvage, crushers, parts dismantlers, and see if we can come up with owners' names, or the name of the company has, could possibly be the last name of the owners. So if it was Smith Auto Recyclers or Smith Scrap Metals,
Right. Because John just said, did the list of people at the party include the Friends of the Irwins?
So I've seen multiple lists that had people that were supposed to be at the party. Jennifer, everything she's compiled, which has been incredible. I will get with her and see if she has a full list and see, but you've got lists that has everybody or people that was supposed to be there, maybe not everybody, but then you have people coming out and people saying we're at the party, but we was never at the party. And I mean, you'll have 8 different statements from 8 different people that so-and-so was at the party, but so-and-so says they wasn't at the party.
It's a mess.
But guys, don't forget, if any of you ever want to join us on a live feed, pop up on the screen with us and discuss one of the cases, please reach out to us. Let us know. We'd be more than happy to bring you on with us. Leanne, we will work with you to get a time scheduled that we could all meet up and do a live feed as well. And I look forward to that. Leanne says the Irwins used to live near Harmon High School. Might be an area to start looking for the junkyard.
Thank you, Leanne. Nice.
So, guys, is there anything anybody else has? Alex, is there anything else you wanted to jump into on?
I just want to thank everybody for, stuff people have been sending in. And, actually, there is something I want to discuss. So this morning, after we'd ate breakfast, I hopped on Facebook, and because I like to look on Facebook Marketplace and see what's in the area that I'm at. And as I was scrolling through, I went back to regular Facebook, and I saw that there was something that a friend of ours had posted about a young man that was missing, and it was posted in the Weston Swap and Shop So I automatically thought that it was somebody from Weston, Missouri, a young man who was attending Weston. What school is Weston's high school again? West Platte High School in Weston, Missouri. And I messaged this person's mother, according to the person that posted it, and reached out to him and said, if you have not found your child, please reach out to us and we can, try to get the word out through all of our social media outlets. And I said, we are based out of Leavenworth, Kansas. And they didn't read it. And I, of course, sent it to Dennis. And I told Dennis, hey, I said, this is going on. It's in Weston. And Dennis made a video. And then he posted it. So we were all eating breakfast and got through. And, we were getting ready to leave for the day. And I decided to Google this person's name. Or not Google, I'm sorry. I searched it on Facebook. And I found the same missing person, the same child, and I found it 100 times on swapping shops all across the United States. And it was different people's names that were saying it was their child. So I finally came across one, and it said, 100% this is a scam. Do not try to message them to help them because it's a way for them to get into your Facebook via your thing. So I was like, oh crap. and I, did what I did to take care of it. And I let, so, I know, since I've been involved with this, I probably have 50 different missing people's pages. And, the majority of that I do digital billboard advertising for missing people. I pay for it out of my pocket. And I've done it 6 or 7 times now for Randy on I-70 by the Legends area, because that is the closest digital billboard to the Linwood area or the Baser, Tonganoxie, DeSoto corridor along I-70. It's the closest one, but I still do it, and I've done it all across the United States for all different missing people's cases that we have worked on. But I just, it's hard when you see these missing cases and you look at people that are missing, and, I immediately took it that it was real, that this person's missing their child. And the first thing that caught me off guard is I went to the Missouri Highway Patrol to read the information on this child, and there was nothing there. And if this person was truly missing, the parents would have made a missing child report, a missing persons report, and the Missouri Highway Patrol would have had it listed. And they didn't. So that was the first red flag. So, people who do look at stuff, always try to do your homework, always investigate, because I posted it because somebody else, a friend of ours, had posted it, and then a couple other people had shared what I had shared, and it started a chain reaction of a scam. And, we know scammers will do whatever they can, and it's sad that they use the missing person as a tactic to scam somebody, because that's what we're into, helping people find their missing loved ones, So, just take a little bit of heart, because I was on the move to do a digital billboard when I got home for this child. And what kind of fool would I have been if I wouldn't have done the research and really tried to find, what the true story was. And
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And
so
we did take the
Wow.
video down once we realized what was going on. We did go ahead and take the video off of YouTube as well.
So John asked, how much are the billboards cost for Randy? So basically, it is, I do it through Blip Billboards, and Blip Billboards rents space on digital billboards that basically they buy time, and then you pay, they make money off you buying time. So like when I do Randy's, I set a budget, and it's all based on a budget per hour or per day. So sometimes I set a budget of $20 a day, and then you can choose the schedule of what time the digital billboard will run your ad. And, it can be driving hours, like, the morning driving, breakfast time, the lunchtime, dinner time. You can do all day. You can do off-peak time. The blips stay on for 8 seconds. So it'll flash, it stays up for 8 seconds, and then it flips to another digital, ad. So I set different budgets. Sometimes, I've had where they'll flip 1,000 times a day, and it depends. If it's at the peak hour of the day, it might cost 2 cents, per blip. Off peak, it might be, like 1 cent to run, in the off peak hours. So there's different times, there's different amounts, so I just set a budget of like $20 a day. Sometimes I do $15 a day. And I've had a couple that have done really well. Tremendous amounts. And then sometimes they might they might blip, when it flashes for 8 seconds, 7 seconds, and then it's gone. They call it a blip. So I've had it to where it's only done it like 50 times in 1 week because so many people were advertising that it's just how it is. The downfall to this is it's not everywhere in the United States. Like in the Kansas City area, there's 8 different digital billboards you have access to. Down by Wichita, Kansas, there's like 8 or 10. Springfield, Missouri, there's a handful. St. Louis, Missouri, there's a handful. So not every person that's missing, if you go to their hometown where they went missing or the location they went missing, I've had tons and tons where there's no digital billboards nowhere. So unfortunately, I can't do anything. So I just work through our list and I just add people. If I can find a digital billboard that's 10, 15 miles away or closer, I'll usually do it. I've had 2 cases that we've done where the digital billboards, I was able to get 2 digital billboards, within a couple miles of these missing people's home address, and I've had great response with the, getting the blips where it's done thousands of times a week. So, it just depends on what time, when, where, the location. It's all a factor in it. Bobby's going to bed.
And I just put the link to Blip Billboards up in the comment section.
But I've reached out to some other, digital billboard services. And, I had another one pop up that was for the digital billboards that are on the moving van that ties all over in big cities. The first one I went to, they wanted $15,000 up front. And I was just like, dude, what? So of course, I bypassed them and I wrote them an email and said, how can the average person, even the average person that's running a small business, even afford to advertise with you prices and rates? So the Blip Billboard company is really, and when you do it, it's called a campaign. So you make a campaign, and that's how you do it. So it's really affordable.
John,
Oh my God, John.
thank you, John. John just donated $400.
Wow.
When that comes in, if it's okay with you, John, we're going to get that over to Alex to help cover the costs of these billboards.
Oh my goodness.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, John. Thank you so much.
That is awesome.
Oh my gosh.
So much. That means a lot. That truly does. That is awesome.
We will get that.
Thank you.
We'll get that
Oh,
over to
my
Alex
goodness.
as soon as that gets into us, and that will go towards what you're doing with the billboards.
Oh my goodness.
That is
I've talked to Dennis about getting the railroad to put these people on their rail cars.
They do that still?
I've been in contact with some of them. So far, it hasn't gone very well. They weren't interested in doing that anymore, but we're going to continue reaching out to others and seeing what we can do with that as well. Hopefully we can find some that will do that.
Katie just became a new member. Yay!
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
Katie,
Oh,
when
my
did,
goodness.
When did Katie come on? I missed
she
her
right
coming
there.
on.
She
Oh,
came
there
on
she
about
is.
9:15 there. Oh my goodness. I still can't get over it.
I wasn't
Oh.
trying to ignore you, Katie. I
No.
promise. Katie
Oh.
says, Alex, you are long-winded. Smiley face.
Sorry.
Mark.
And Mark just donated $99.99 as
Oh
well.
my God.
And again, Mark, if you're okay with this, we will get that over to Alex as well on these billboards.
Mark and John, thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
Thank you. That's awesome. That is so awesome.
Oh my goodness.
You guys are just incredible.
You bring me to tears here.
See, and every family member that I've talked to that has a missing person, that is one of the things I have stressed with them not being alone is so many people out here who
Yes.
are involved in trying to find them and helping out. And it's just the whole search and recovery community is just amazing.
Yeah, I can't believe this.
She just got back, so let's I'll let you
All right, ready? You ready, Tammy? John donated $400. Mark donated $100, and Katie became a member.
Yay.
So, oh my goodness, all of you are amazing. Woo.
And I got the thumbs up from Mark
Yeah.
as well. So those donations,
Yes.
when they come into us, we're going to get them over to you guys to go towards the digital billboards and everything that's happening on that end. So as soon as we're able
Yes.
to get that, we're getting that straight to you guys.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. I will tell you that Dennis is not one to ask for money, and he really is not. And so he just believes that when the time is right, it'll be there. And he's just a good guy that you really are, Dennis. I would really think.
You're going to embarrass me.
You're gonna make him blush.
But seriously, these things that I'm saying, I want everyone else to hear too, because these are things that Dennis doesn't talk about. He just doesn't. He's not one that wants to get on here and ask for money, or he just doesn't. So
Yeah.
but we do have still some gifts that have been donated. We haven't forgot about those. And getting closer, we all discussed this, getting closer to Christmas, we would like to bless a couple of you all with some gifts, and I think we're going to be putting together something where, we'll be giving those away. So
We still have brand new TV in the
We do.
box that we
Yeah. Right. John did say we all appreciate your time in the searches, and Randy needs attention to get a lead.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And Alex, when he's done these billboards, he'll screenshot when the blips and stuff on them and
Yeah.
send those over. It is
Yeah.
amazing how many times these things
Yeah.
blip and how many times these billboards are seen.
Right.
Yeah.
sometimes
really
it just
is.
takes that one flip to
Yeah.
make a difference. So
You want to read it? Go ahead.
And Mark says, Leanne, I'm sorry if I misspelled your name, but any more as far as official word on Lee Ayers' case? Is this case closed? I still haven't heard an official cause of death yet, so maybe Leanne has heard something.
Good to see and hear from everyone. Let's keep digging. I think we are close. Have a great week. Again, Katie, thank you for becoming a member. We love you, sister. We did. I'm still in shock here. Whew.
And Leanne said, I stepped back from it. I'm still trying to process it.
I understand.
And Katie, we will always keep digging.
Yeah.
Come too far to stop.
Yeah.
Don't want to stop.
Right.
Randy and these other missing people, they all deserve to be found. Every one
Yeah.
of them deserve to be
Right.
found.
Right.
And we'll continue doing everything that we can to help bring them home.
Yeah.
And we appreciate each and every one of you guys more than you'll ever know.
Really do.
So, guys, with that, I think we will call it a night. Thank you for joining us on here tonight. Again, anybody that wants to join us on a live feed, let me know. We will get that scheduled and bring you on.
Again, Mark, John, everybody, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We love you guys, and we couldn't do this without you.
I'll take my hat off for you guys.
Alex and Tammy as well. We couldn't do any of this without you guys.
Aw. You
Yeah,
all
you guys have been incredible.
here.
Did y'all hear that?
It was
What?
he thinks Bigfoot's out there.
Well, if he is, you need to call us, Kay.
Okay, we will.
And Leanne says, I'm so angry at him. I have no doubt he killed his son and then himself. He talked about murder suicide before. I had that message conversation too.
Man.
Heartbreaking stuff.
It surely is.
And thoughts and prayers out to the rest of that family as well, because any kind of death is devastating, but something along those lines I couldn't imagine.
Right.
But guys, I appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Again, Mark, John, we love you guys to death. Thank you very much for that. And until next time, you guys stay safe, and we will see you guys down the road.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
Hi, everybody.